Hey guys, my name is Matt. These are the error cards that got sold this week, and let's get going. Kicking things off, we have a Sneasel, dumb joke, sold for $120. Now why is that? Texture shift. Oh, I love these. These are so fun to look at. Right here, okay, 120, where's that supposed to be? Different card altogether. So this is shifted so far up and over that this is from a different card. So the Pokeball symbol is supposed to be right here. So up and to the left. Back looks clean because this is a very modern card. Average non-error price, $236. 4,984% is our error value increase for this. And that's good enough for number 3 this week. Next up we have a Tropius from Shining Fates, and this sold for $114 and $15.79. Not sure why that's fraction form. This is a twisty, wonky miscut. Boy, look at that. That got messed up. We have one normal corner here. Edge of sheet right here, which is at like a 30-degree angle, and then obtuse angle, obtuse, 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 obtuse. There's a lot of angles here. This is really cool. Holy cow. You can see CGC accommodated for it. It looks like this is actually bigger than a normal card would be. So this slab would be a little bit wider then, and they have these ridges here to kind of hold it in place. Back, consistent. It's funny, this miscut and you don't see the alignment dot. Crazy. And this card added $107 of value and 1400% EVI. That's a crazy one. Boy, another crazy miscut. Here we have a Rayquaza V from Evolving Skies, and this is just shifted up and down. So this would be shifted down about an inch with another card right here. Oh, alignment dot right there. Looks like misalignment, so the back would be normal. CGC 9. This sold for $1,600. Good lord. So this added $1,400 of value. If you see a generic title like this, click and get ready to purchase real quick, because usually it's someone who doesn't know what they have. Here we have a Groudon with a Jerry Judy football player card on it, which is inverted. So we've seen a couple of these cards that have football player information. I bet this got snatched up real quick. Sold for $50, which is still a lot for a Groudon, but we've seen a couple of these go for over $100 pretty easily. An inexperienced seller or two doesn't show the back of the card, but that's okay. You just assume this one's gonna be in good shape. Average non-error price, $1.25. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Error value increase 3,900%, which is good enough for number 6 this week. Okay, next up we have a first edition Meowth from Team Rocket set, and it is not the knife error. There's a repeating error where there's additional ink right here, but no, this is an obstruction error. Similar to the D error for the Butterfree, but also we've seen it on the Eevee as well from Jungle set. So this can happen where basically printer hickeys can occur anywhere, and sometimes they line up right over the first edition stamp, and so we get a very unique look to it, and it can help it sell for a lot. $300 for a grade 7 Meowth. Crazy. Average non-error price for this is only $11.25, so that really is unique, and let's just get a close look here. Oh, 2,567% for the EVI. That's good enough for number 9 this week. I feel like I'm talking about these Magikarps just about every week, and I want one, so it's like always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
What?
But one time I'll get it. I will. Ink Splash iCarp error. We have a massive repeating printer hickey right here covering the MAG in Magikarp, and these sell for around $60, $40 to $60 I'd say, maybe a little higher if you're patient. And this sold for $60, so that checks out. Average non-error price, $1.13. 5,209% for the EVI. That's good enough for number 2 this week, actually. So again, a modern classic, always fun to see, always fun to talk about. Play that music. We have a Meowth from Jungle set with that fat bottom, a tiny little alignment dot there, like a third of alignment dot. And on the back, is it consistent? Yes, it is. We have that same miscut off-centerness here, maybe a little bit less on the back than the front. Cool to see in vintage cards. You don't see it too often. You know, you'll see that in modern cards, and this will sell for $5 to $10 maybe, but it's cooler to see in vintage cards. And this added around $28 of value. Love to see it. Stop the music. Another texture shift. Let's see how messed up this one got. But this sold for $150. Listed for $150, sold for that exact amount. Now we can see right here's where the Master Ball symbol should be. shifted up and to the left. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So this should be right here. And this is from a different card altogether. Very neat. I'm sure there's more, but we're not going to take that long to look at it. And again, we don't see the back of it. Where's the back? That's okay. $150 for this. Next up, we have a unique one we don't see too often. So we have a Squirtle Reverse Hollow promo card from Pokemon Center. So it's Pokemon Center promo card, sealed, and it's off-center. Now, it's not crazy, again, by any modern standards, but this is an expensive card. I'd say typically it sells for around $130, and for it to be off-center like this in the packaging is pretty neat. So I just looked up a couple sold listings, and they all seem to bop between 120 and 160, so I said 130, so this sold for 1 penny less than the average non-error price, and the EVI of 0%. I don't think I know this seller, but looks like they got some bangers here. Good lord. Signed too? So yeah, I think they did it right. I'm not sure if there's a big market for this, but obviously 130 bucks for a modern Pokemon card is pretty stellar. So normally I like to just embarrass myself in front of the camera by just saying what I think it is in the moment, but I reached out to someone and asked what this would be. I asked if it's an end of hollow roll error, and they said no. So they say the front is misaligned. That doesn't happen. So what actually happened is someone placed a card right over the top here, and then this part right here is sun faded. So very interesting. One I would not have really thought of, but yeah, it checks out, and the back is kind of interesting right here. There's a little bit of lightning. I'm not sure if that's because the sun fading actually poked all the way through. Hard to say, but teachable moment for everyone. This is not an error. This is kind of proportionate. This is all the same, so this would be shifted down too. You would see something else here besides just the top being a little bit thinner. So yeah, not an error, unfortunately. Someone bought this for 250 bucks. Next up, we have a Torterra, and this has 2 square corners. Now, these can sometimes sell for so cheap, I'm like surprised. Again, I bought an Eevee a couple weeks ago for like 3 bucks, and I had 4 square corners. So the reason I wanted to talk about this, square corner errors happen, but they don't sell for this much usually. Listed for 60, sold for 40. Not bad. Let's just take a look at the back here, and then we'll call it a day. Yeah, so corner. Ooh, alignment dot, nice. And then rounded. So interesting. Average non-error price $1.28. That gives us 3,025%, which is good enough for number 8 this week. All right, in my eye, it's better to be cautious and say something isn't an error and then be happy when it is. I was confused about this. I asked the Discord group I'm in. No one answered. That's okay. I'm not hurt. Just disappointed. But yeah, I think this is a tape error, like done after the fact. But let's see. So this is an Absol from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. You can see we have like missing hollow here. It looks just like someone got tape, left it on, and then pulled it off and kind of revealed some of this other stuff. But yeah, hard to say. That would check out. But this sold for 200 bucks. So if it's a true error, please let me know if you know more than I do. If you're just guessing, say I'm guessing, but because we don't want to give out false information here. But yeah, this added $175 of value, and if it's a true error, awesome. If it's not, well, shoot. Seller says, very unique error card. I've never seen an error card like this. Great condition. This is not caused by damage or manipulation to the card. This is a factory error. I don't know. It doesn't really sell me on it too much. We'll see, though. Hey, yeah, look. A messed up Grass Energy card. Miscut, as most Grass Energies are nowadays. Rounded corner. Thick border with 2 square corners. It's a little iffy on the cut line there too. So here's what it's supposed to look like. Here's what it looks like. Very neat. And is that, yeah, hard to say if that's edge of sheet or just like a really dull blade in alignment dot. Sold for 40 bucks. And average non-error price is 214. So 1769 is the EVI. Not top 10. Repeating error, yeah. Because this happens a lot with Grass Energies.
He's been struck by lightning. How many times is it now, Reg?
6 times. 66 times.
In the head.
In the head.
I love that movie. Here we have an ancient Mew. That is crazy. Miscut. Look at this. sold for $3,360. Now, I know there's a slew of these miscut Ancient Mews, and it seems like I'm talking about them just about every other week, but this is a crazy one. Oh yeah, why did I play the clip? 66 bids. In the back, look at that. Alignment pluses. So miscut, wonky, but still retains the normal card shape. We have some information here, alignment pluses, and on the front we have just that hollow here, which would be kind of consistent if you took acetone to it, I believe, and then we have these like alignment squares. So cool, so unique, which is why it sold for $3 grand and some change. $80 for the average non-error price for a grade 8.5. That gives us a 4,100% EVI. Why is this not in the top 10? Oh, that's good enough for number 5.5. Well, messed that one up, but yeah, incredible one. Always pop this bad boy in the thumbnail too. Next up, we have another Ancient Mew, and this is the Nintendo error. A neat repeating error where the third N in Nintendo is missing. Wonderful photo, thank you, Probstein Auctions. Look at that. Okay, right here. N is missing. I like tracking the PSA 10 sales because they range quite a bit. 23.20, that's a lot of money. Now, I don't want to take credit for this, but this has been trending upward for a little bit. They used to sell for around $1,200. I spoke to someone at Price Charting and said, hey, can you update these values? And now the average price is listing around $2,000, so it's actually getting tracked with the sales. And it seems like whoever's selling is looking at that data and then listing their items for higher and selling for that. So I may have manipulated the market. So if you're paying more for your Nintendo errors, I apologize. If only I could have capitalized on this financially, but I'm not holding a bunch of Nintendos. Dang. All right, here's a neat one. We have an Ammonite from Fossil Set, and this is, boy, an additional ink error right here. Darker. I believe that would be additional ink. Very cool to see. And sold for $60 this week. Average non-error price for this, $1.27. Let's take a look at the back. Clean. A little nicked up in the bottom right, but that's okay. Yeah, clean overall. EVI 4,624%. That's good enough for number 5 this week. I need to update these values. That's not right. My bad. Yeah, very neat one though. Love vintage errors. Next up, my girl Lacey sold for $100. These trainer cards are always cool to see texture shifted because you get the ghost here. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. You can see what the Pokeball symbol looks like here. All shifted and everything. Different angles. Sparkly ghost. That's really cool. I'm usually not, oh my gosh, I'm usually not a fan of these trainer cards. Just, you know, I don't know the characters, but so cool to see. This sells for $2.24 usually. That gives us a 4,362% error value increase. That's good enough for number 7 this week. Yeah, I need to update those numbers. Next up, Ryan Rips sold a Krabby Slash error for $51. I want to see what the bidding looked like here. So started at 46. That's unfortunate. You hope this will pick up some traction because this is worth a lot more money. See, the card's actually in pretty good shape. Now, we got like a little fold over here, but honestly, this is a rare enough card where they should still sell for more. So $51 for this. Right here's the error. You can see missing ink makes it look like that 5th finger. And overall, an awesome card. Great pickup for whoever got this. Congrats. $1.42 is the average non-error price. So 3,492% is good enough for number... This isn't on the list. Okay, yeah, something got messed up. Look on the values over there. It got... we'll make sure that's all updated, but I definitely messed something up. Cool card, though. Cool error. Last card. Let's go. Hydreigon EX Miscut. Listed for $1,000, sold for $350. Good lord. That's crazy. Now, it's one of these EX cards that always sells for a lot when they're miscut, you know, around the $3 to $5 range for average non-error price. And this is $4.52 for the average non-error price. Take a look at the back. We got portion of alignment up. Yeah, shifted up about a centimeter, maybe a little bit less. Awesome card. Awesome card. So cool to see these EXs sell for so much. We got that fat bottom. Play the music just for like a second. Good, thank you. And the cul-de-sac miscut, like you see on your bald uncle. So cool. Error value increase, 7,643%. That's good enough for number 1 this week. At least I got that right. Thank you for watching. I enjoy filming these. I feel myself kind of come alive as I'm getting more into the video. So, I know it's late in the video. Give it a like. Leave me a comment if it's a nice one. If it's a mean one, leave it anyway. But say this is a mean comment. And subscribe. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. We'll see you later. Goodbye.